Good evening, all. I'm Vishali Gade, IGB President. On behalf of IGB, would like to welcome you all to this evening's feature event, ABCs of NFT with Thomas Arul. I'm sure this will be beneficial to all you curious minds trying to stay current with the technological improvements. We have a full house here today, so just few housekeeping rules. Please hold, some of you did submit some questions ahead of the time, so thank you for that. Others who have any questions, please hold your questions till after the presentation. Chat channel, we'll open the chat channel after the presentation, and you can submit your questions via chat. And now I would like to pass on to Cynthia Rajesh Khanna, IGB Youth Leader, to take us through this evening. Cynthia, please take it.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Let's now welcome our esteemed speaker today, Mr. Thomas Arul. Mr. Arul is extremely qualified as the CEO of Bloomy Incorporated and co-founder of Abris.io NFT. He's a serial entrepreneur, investor, technology blockchain evangelist, and public speaker. So with that, I will pass it on to you, Mr. Arul.
Hey, thank you, Vaishali, for organizing this. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, IAGB. We just did Shark Tank last month in February. And I think one of the hottest topics right now is NFTs. And a lot of people have asked me, what is NFT? What is NFTs? And so I thought, okay, let's put together a session. Thanks again, IAGB, for arranging this one. There's a lot to cover. We just have 30 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll try to cover the basics and let 15 minutes open for any questions you might have. Okay. And it's, there are a lot of varying people. So I'll try with the basics. ABCs, that's the name of the presentation. Then there are a lot of concepts on blockchain as well as cryptocurrency and stuff. Probably we'll have a separate session on that, including metaverse. A lot of questions were on metaverse too. So let me start. So, as a lot of you have been wondering and kind of fascinated, could not believe that what is NFT? Some of you have heard that someone bought a JPEG for $69 million. It's from Beeple. It's just a picture, and you can have that picture in your computer. Why is it worth $69 million? It's a big question. Even I don't know the answer for that. That is digital art sold as NFT. And some of you know that Jack Dorsey sold his first tweet as NFT for almost $2.9 million. Hey, that tweet is available for everyone to see. What does it mean that someone bought it for $2.9 million? Is he crazy, or they're out of touch in this world? That is yet to be decided. But my purpose is to just educate the basics of NFT, what it does, and a lot of decisions you have to make yourself as technologist or investor. This is just to kind of explain the concept of NFT. Some other use cases, there's and a lot of people have heard about it, like monkeys, something called a Bored Ape that sells for $500,000, $1 million, and the record was $3.4 million. Again, this is just a picture, and that picture can be in anyone's computer. And why is it worth so much? Also, recently, the first internet code for www was sold for $5.4 million, and someone wants the code, which everyone can see in the internet. Everyone can have a copy of it, and it's probably a 30-year-old code, and that was sold for $5.4 million. And our own Amitabh Bachchan sold a poem from his dad called Madhushala for 7.18 crores. It's just a copy of the code and is reciting that poem that was sold as an audio-video file. And also our own Boston-based Sunania can see her article in Rolling Stone. She has her poem as NFT, helping cause in Kashmir, and she's selling that in our Abris platform. And a lot of you grew up with watching the YouTube. Charlie Bit My Finger. It was in YouTube. There's multiple copies of it in YouTube, and they sold that as an NFT last year for almost $760,000. What does it mean? What does that mean? And if you're into sports, that you'd have heard NBA Top Shot. There's a website where you get basketball moments of Michael Jordan or LeBron dunking. Those videos available on the internet. but people are buying and buying it for anything varying between $100 to $200,000. Just a 30-second moment of that specific shot. And Patriots fan Tom Brady has this company called Autograph, where he sells his autographs, not only his autograph, but a lot of other sports players' autograph, and they are different editions: the premier edition, the limited edition, and they all go for varying prices. Again, it's just a picture of the autograph. And there's some perks along with that. You get invited to a Discord channel. You'll have access to some other drops. So those are some of the perks that they offer. It's an NFT marketplace called Autograph, where you can find all these collections. Also, recently, there's a huge craze on metaverse, and people are gobbling up land in Decentraland or other metaverse spaces. Recently, one land was sold for $2.4 million. Again, you're talking about a virtual land that is as expensive as some house in New York and San Francisco. And a lot of companies are also jumping into this bandwagon to, booking some spaces or buying some spaces in some of the famous metaverse like Decentraland as NFTs. We also recently did first Meta event where tickets were sold as NFTs to attend the event, where you can meet the avatar of Rob Lowe. And this was done for the Super Bowl weekend. So these are some of the examples which you might know or heard about it, but just want to kind of set the stage that, this is a new world out there where people are buying this stuff and at an exorbitant price. Only for two reasons. One is that people have bragging rights. Hey, I own this piece. I own this Michael Jordan thing, because it's all limited edition. Second is, mostly important, a lot of people are speculating that it's going to grow in value. It has done so far, but I don't know how the future holds. But a lot of things have grown up in value. You buy something and it grows up in value. Another example is CryptoPunks. These are just 10,000 pictures. The pictures doesn't even look good. They were generated by computer in Ethereum in 2017, and some of them are going for millions of dollars. And some of them are like rarity, the color, background, what happens. Those are things that drives the price. Again, I wouldn't buy any of this for this price, but it is happening in the marketplace as we speak. And what are NFTs? The fundamental question, I think NFTs are non-fungible tokens. They're a type of digital tokens where every token is different and it holds some unique characteristics. NFT could be anything from digital art to a photo, to a video, to music, games, event tickets, painting. Also something unique, physical also could be an NFT. Right now, all the metaverse objects, or you buy a land in metaverse, or you create an avatar in metaverse, or you have a concept in metaverse, those also are sold as NFTs. Even a meme can be an NFT. So anything which is unique can be done as an NFT. And NFTs are saved in the blockchain. And again, if people are not familiar with blockchain, we'll have one more session on it, because it's very hard to cover both the topics. If you look at blockchain, think as an open public database where every transaction is written, so no one can tamper with it, or it's foolproof. So NFT owners, typically the person who's minting and selling, choose a specific blockchain to store the digital assets, and people buy in that blockchain. So far, it's all within a blockchain. There's not much of cross-blockchain compatibility yet, but people are building that as we speak. So there is, NFT is non-fungible token. What does fungibility means? So fungibility is the ability of a goods or asset to be interchanged for any other like kind. So if you take $1, I have $1 and you have $1, we can exchange. If I give you $10, you can give me $10. I'm not going to expect the same $10 you gave you. You can expect $10. It can be $10 could be in coin, it could be in check, or it could be in anything. So there's a fungible which are transferable. It could be gold bars and stuff. Also, it could be also like a Bitcoin. Hey, it doesn't matter one Bitcoin or one Ethereum. It doesn't matter. It's not that specific Bitcoin or Ethereum. These are again fungible. Fungible means that they can be exchanged evenly. There's nothing unique about the characteristic that make them unique. Those are fungible. When you talk to non-fungible, these are something rare and peculiar and unique. The Mona Lisa could be a house, or it could be some digital assets. Like they are unique. There's only one of that kind. If we talk about Mona Lisa, there's only one Mona Lisa. If you talk about your house, it's only one house. If you talk about some digital assets like crypto kitties or whatever you see in NFTs, they are unique. Each one has their own trait, feature, and characteristics. That's why it's called non-fungible. So it's called non-fungible. And basically, token is a record of what is written in a blockchain. So that's why the meaning non-fungible token, NFT, comes in. Okay. So again, fungible are things that can be exchanged. Non-fungible are something unique. In old, you can do a barter, but it's not like in one Mona Lisa can be exchanged with anything. So it's always that specific item. So this is kind of important concept. What makes NFTs? Right? NFTs can be anything that is unique, which are not you can't replicate that. A lot of people asking, what is a good example of what is in practical world was NFT? So, how many of you been to the Louvre and to see the Mona Lisa? There's one copy of it, but you can go to their gift shop and buy a copy, prints of it. So the Mona Lisa is a non-fungible. The whatever in the gift shop you get are fungible. Similarly, the person who bought the artwork, Beeple, for $69 million, that's a unique record in the blockchain. But I can have the picture of that in my computer. You can have the picture on your computer. But what makes it unique is the record of that in the blockchain, that this is what is originally minted and this person owns it. The tweet that someone bought from Jack Dorsey, the tweet is available everywhere, but that person owns that tweet that is recorded on the blockchain. Or similarly, someone buys an autograph of Tom Brady as an NFT. There could be 100 copies of that, but someone owns that copy of that in their blockchain. That's ownership of that. So NFTs also, sometimes what happens is it's not only one quantity, they can mint multiple quantities. Typically if Tom Brady is doing a signature edition, he does 100 copies of this NFT. And that number of tokens also can be specified while minting. Ideally, the same token should not be minted again. Say, suppose if I have one specific art, I put it on blockchain for 100 copies, you should not put the same copy again. That kind of defeats the purpose. The more scarcity you create, the more the supply and demand, and it's the same fundamentals happen here. Okay. Finally, everything has to be recorded on the blockchain. That makes the owner of that entity or digital asset. Again, what is an NFT art? So again, it's a digital piece of a digital version of a physical object. It's minted in the blockchain, and the agreements are written by a smart contract. Minting is a process of putting that entry in the blockchain, and smart contracts are contracts that are executed on the blockchain. And people who know database, it's kind of a stored procedure that gets executed. And the non-fungible tokens are generated where people can buy that NFT in a specific NFT marketplace on a specific blockchain which is minted on. So what are the use cases for NFTs? I think there are a lot of use cases. I think the most important thing is the digital art. You can tokenize real world artworks to promote authenticity and offer ownership to the artist. So an artist can have, Ravi Verma painting. There's only one painting, but he might, that's a physical NFT, but he might have signed copy of 100 editions that could be physical copies of the thing. But he might give rights to someone to mint, say, 100 copies of a digital version of it. So that could be an NFT. Fashion, people create luxury items either in the metaverse, or it could be anything. It's something unique. They could NFT that. License and certificate. There's no way to verify that you got so many marks and you passed in this college or in the school. So those can be NFT'd. Collectibles, anything of that value. It could be a baseball card, or it could be a cricket bat. Any collection can be NFT'd. You can find the same thing in eBay, and eBay is just a marketplace. But similarly here, it's just that it is recorded on a blockchain, and it is available as a proof that you own that ownership. So no one can say that. And also one of the things that you can resell those and collect NFTs also. There is one more opportunity where, hey, I buy that, I own that, and I can also resell that. So that makes it unique, because the history of that specific NFT, okay, it was originally minted at this time. There were X number of copies minted. Someone bought it for $100. Then someone sold it for $200. someone again sold it for $300. Those things are all written on the blockchain, so we can verify the ownership of that, and it's all entered in the blockchain. Sports, there's a lot of opportunities in sports, from autographs to merchandise to signed baseball cards, signed cards, all that are coming there. A lot of people also do domain name services. If you have something unique, you can sell them as NFTs. Virtual world, as I talked earlier, that's something that's catching up on speed, where a lot of people are trying to create these metaverse objects, metaverse events, where tickets are minted NFT. Also, like, when you go to metaverse, I don't know, my kid plays Roblox. She buys a lot of these virtual coins, to kind of make her avatar better. Similarly, those could be NFTs in the virtual world, where you might want to have a specific thing. You can buy them as NFTs, or attend a specific event. Those could be NFTs. Also, you might set up a shop in metaverse and pay for stuff too. Like McDonald's has a patent in such a way that people can come in the metaverse and buy a McDonald's, and it might be delivered physically too. So, also games, games can be elements of games can be tokenized. So I just talked about what are NFTs. Time check. I think we have 10 more minutes. How do you sell NFTs? You can choose a marketplace to sell, connect a blockchain wallet, mint the NFTs. There's a fee involved in minting an NFT. Then you upload NFT, and you can promote NFTs on social media. If you're interested in buying NFT, choose a marketplace. Typically, you connect the marketplace through your wallet. It could be Ethereum, Algorand, whatever blockchain use that wallet, and browse the marketplace and buy the NFTs you want to buy, either through auction or bidding, or just buy it. Someone buy now functionalities there. Okay. So what are the key characteristics of NFTs? One is indivisible. It should not be divided. Once it's set up and minted, it's always that it cannot be divided further. Ownership, we can uniquely see the ownership in the blockchain. It's unique. And more rare it is, the more expensive it is. So sometimes what happens is a lot of AI generated programs write, mints, hey, I have this 100 monkeys coming in, but if you get a rare NFT, you don't know what it's going to get. But if you get something rare, it might be worth more. You can say deposit $10 or some Ethereum or algos or whatever to buy that NFT. It's going to drop on a specific date, but it's like luck. You might get something unique, and that goes in value. And transparency is important. Interoperability is a new feature which people are trying to do across blockchain. So these are a couple of few characteristics of NFTs. So there are, I think there are a lot of blockchains. So Ethereum is the most famous one. Bitcoin is a blockchain, but there's not many NFTs on Bitcoin. Ethereum, Cardano, Binance, Tezos, Flow, and Algorand. These are some of the best blockchains for NFT marketplace. So we have on Algorand. Algorand is a Boston-based company. So a couple of things to just consider is the cost of NFT creation. If you buy or sell an NFT in Ethereum, it's going to be expensive, almost like $50 to $100. These are the gas transaction fee because the Ethereum price went significantly higher. So I think right now $2,000. So to mint anything is expensive. So the gas price or the cost for artist to mint is expensive. Similarly, when you buy, it's expensive. But a lot of other off-chain mechanisms to lower the cost. So that is one thing. The cost of NFT creation. NFT environment, a lot of these are, there are two different types of blockchain. One is proof of work and proof of stake. Bitcoin, Ethereum are proof of work. That's why you have these miners mining and running computers and, polluting the environment. So those are all blockchain technologies with huge power. But the newer blockchains like Algorand and Flow, they're a proof of stake. They don't use much power, and the cost of minting is also almost negligible or insignificant. Sometimes what happens is there is focus on one more thing, where if there's more than 51% of ownership, someone can hack a blockchain and create a separate path. Scalability, speed, and finality, some of the considerations when you look into a blockchain marketplace where you want to mint or sell your NFTs. So some of the top marketplaces are OpenSea, Rarible, Super Rare, Foundation, Atomic Market. These things are there. And as I said earlier, there's a Autograph for sports one. There's so many of them right now. And I think this is like probably from last year. There's so many of the marketplaces. We just launched our marketplace early this year. So we support, anyone can create a storefront as artist, photographer, entertainment, sports, brand, business, social impact, nonprofit, politics, or writer. It's very simple. You can register in a platform, connect your wallet, mint and sell. And we do event tickets, video, music, digital arts, photos, physical assets. There are a lot of use cases for NFTs. One is that it can help artists, if you, same thing you can tokenize, like if you don't apply for a patent, there's always, you can create NFT and make sure that your assets are protected. Luxury goods can be verified in NFT, something unique. Even someone is manufacturing, I think Alfa Romeo is doing their cars as NFTs. Any products can be NFT to provide provenance. And you can do certificates and NFT, ticketing, games, there's a lot of use cases. So I think I want to keep it more interactive. So the future of NFTs, I think NFT is just starting. I think though it's been there from 2017, last year saw a huge rise. And there's a lot of use cases for it. But again, I wouldn't, this is not an investment advice. I wouldn't go invest any NFTs thinking that's going to go up and stuff, because it's all volatile. Once it goes up, it comes down. If you have kids, probably they know more about NFTs than us who've been in the technology field or in other fields where we've heard of it. But it's again a risk and a gamble. But there are a lot of really good use cases where we can empower a lot of artists across the world, help people reach new marketplaces, and also especially in music and entertainment, there's a lot of impact where you don't have the middleman. You can mint your own audio and have an audience for it, or a video and have an audience for it. There's a lot of use cases where people are minting NFTs for social causes. You want to raise money for a specific thing. You can feed the people. So a lot of good cases on NFTs. Again, this is just the beginning. As I said earlier, there's a lot of things happening in the metaverse where people are buying land, buying avatars. It's a crazy world out there, but always have a bit of skepticism on what you're doing and what you're doing. But it's good to know the technology and what is happening in the world. So that's all I had. Vaishali, I'll open it for questions, and I'd rather answer questions.
Yes, so I will, sorry, did you want to say?
No, go ahead, Cynthia.
Okay, so I will jump in now and start throwing out the questions that we received beforehand. If anyone else has any questions, you may now put those in the chat and we will facilitate that going forward. So the first question that was submitted: how can musicians and artists make use of the NFT and blockchain technologies to promote what they produce?
So absolutely, this is a good question. I think you can recently see that Spotify, people get point. Some, if they're not a famous artist, they hardly get any money, and most of because there's so many middle people. The power of blockchain is to eliminate a lot of middlemen, and it is decentralized. So as an artist, you can mint your music, audio, or video as NFTs. That's the easy part. The hard part is if you need to find the way to socialize that and get people by. So definitely NFTs can help in that. You can use blockchain and one of the marketplaces and mint your audio file or a video file and say there's 1,000 copies, and let people buy it to listen, or buy it to own. You can do that also. And the thing is that most of the money goes to you directly. And one of the things also which I didn't touch upon is that resellability. Say suppose you limit, okay, you have a mission and want to have, just example, hey, 1 million copies of my music, I'm going to do it $1 each, and someone buys it and you become very famous, And if I own that, I can sell it for, say, $10. You can set commission such a way that you get your royalty perpetually. Hey, and you know what? My royalty stream is okay. Today I'm not famous, but tomorrow if I become famous, my music, I can keep getting my royalties. So that blockchain allows you to do that. So that's one of the great use cases if you can do that.
All right, so I'll move on to the next question. How does one connect, upload, or log in to a blockchain or NFT?
So I don't know, there's a slide on that. 1 second. I had some additional slides. Sorry. I don't have a slide. Okay. So it's very simple. I think you have to just choose a marketplace. I showed you there's a lot of marketplaces earlier. And you have to go to that marketplace, and it's Ethereum based marketplace or Algorand based marketplace. You can register. For example, in our platform, you can register as a musician, studio, whatever, and just sign up. They do a verification. Once you're verified, you can connect your wallet to that marketplace and mint and put on sale. There's no cost to it. It's free. And based on the bias, you'll get the money directly in your wallet. So okay, I think this slide is here. Step 1, register. Step 2, connect your wallet. Step 3, mint and sell. As simple as that.
Okay. The next question is, how does royalty play a role in NFTs when it is sold from one person to another?
Yeah. So as I said earlier, when in the marketplace is always there's it's all smart contractually programmed where when you buy, for example, I'm just going to example in our marketplace, 90% of the revenue goes to the artist, and the future sales 5% of the revenue perpetually comes to the artist. So that's the power of blockchain. Blockchain allows a smart contract to be written. So anyone who's buying that and selling it, that royalty goes to that original minter or the original creator of the asset.
Another person asked, what is the future of NFT? Is it going to shift towards more utility-based NFTs?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, there's a lot of hype on, people can buy monkeys for $500,000 in thinking that's going to go up. That's happening right now. So I definitely think that's not going to scale. There's always comes back to value. You need a value for something. But definitely there's a lot of utilities on anything can be done, which can be digitalized as an NFT. But people are going to question what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. And that's going to happen. Like unique things which are unique. It could be physical items or baseball cards or a cricket bat or something unique, like in the first script of a movie. Those are things which are signed, autographed, physical. It's going to be huge. And as I said, metaverse also is exciting. There's a lot of opportunities there also. The future is good, but you might have bumps if you're invested in some of these, things which doesn't have any tangible benefits in the near term.
Okay, so another question is, how well will the metaverse and NFT space be integrated in the future?
Yeah, I think that's, I think I've touched briefly on that. So that's, metaverse, NFTs are really kind of made for each other, I would say, is because things are easy to sell and digitally because, Roblox, you do it in the phone and stuff, but kids buy it, I think. But once you come to metaverse, the land, the events, the space you're building, the, McDonald's, whatever you can see, use case where all Nike setting up a shop, you can come and see them and also experience them and also buy them, And typically in the metaverse, you would like to connect your wallet. You could do through credit card too. And also the thing is that some of them becomes unique if it's digital, and that's easily only validated through blockchain. And definitely there's a huge opportunity there. As I said earlier, we did a concert tickets as NFTs in the metaverse. So we try to sell Rob Lowe avatar for $10,000. You can meet and read Rob Lowe in the metaverse for $10,000. So these just starting these use cases are, but we'll have more in the upcoming months.
Mm-hmm. So from Preetha, we have a question. She wants to know if Polygon Ethereum is safe to use, and she wants to inquire about the gas fees. She wants to know whether it actually has gas fees not?
Yeah, I think Polygon is a side chain of which I think the gas fees are significantly lower. So if you do in Ethereum, it's expensive, as I said. Some of the side chains of Ethereum, which like Polygon takes it offline, so the gas fees are significantly lower in the platform. But I would ask you to look into Algorand. It's a Boston-based company, and it's MIT Turing Award winner Silvio, who's one of the founders of cryptography. He's he's a man behind this one. So just look at the other marketplaces also.
Mhm. For an investor, what is the benefit or value of an NFT?
As an investor, I think this is the one slide I was talking about the different blockchains. Yeah, for an investor, okay, there's it's a loaded question. I think again, crypto is just 1 trillion in market cap. It went to 2 trillion, came back, and that's one part. Cryptos are Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the different. You can see all these currencies are Ethereum, Binance, so it's Algorand. They have varying prices, and there are NFTs on each of these platforms. And as I showed earlier, the tweet that someone bought for $2.53 million, that company doesn't have. It's stopped doing it because everyone started selling tweets, and it's not even existing. I forgot the company's name, but guy who bought that, I don't think he can sell for $100,000. So one example of that, I'm just saying. But some of them, like which are unique and rare, like the CryptoKitties or the Cyberpunks, that keeps going in millions because it's again demand and supply. It's more scarce and more unique, and there are believers in that and buy. Again, I'm not going to advise anyone to buy this stuff. I would say go with caution because these things are. It's going to sometime reality is going to sink in, and people are going to realize that it's not worth what it is.
So I also have a hypothetical posed by another individual. If I have a painting, can I sell its digital image as an NFT and still keep or resell the physical art piece?
Absolutely. So that's a use case. I said if you have a painting, three things that we can do. One is physical painting. For example, it's if you're a good painter like me. So just for example, physical painting you can sell for $10,000. Just keep it as an NFT, and you can also have limited copies of the physical painting as NFTs. You signed, even if you could, Ravi Verma has original painting. There's some 10 to 20, or even Imam Hussain, not Ravi Verma. Imam Hussain has physical painting, and he has signed copies of that, which unique serial number. I think those could be also physical. Then of the physical, you can also mint digital copies, and you can still keep the original. And digital copies also you can mint. It's up to him, the painter or the creator, how many copies he's going to create. And the more rare the painting, more famous the painting, the more valuable. And more quantity you mint, it's less. It's again demand and supply. The more quantity you mint, then less the price. Few quantities you mint, more the price.
So the next question we have: what is the best way to market an NFT collection?
Yeah, I think that's it's it's a good question. So the thing is that you have to create a story behind anything. You need to create a story. Why is that unique? And what does that be? It's going to be like hey, if you're doing a dog NFT, and I'm going to take care of the shelter, or this is a story. The story is very important to create and have that and prove it also, because you just can't say that, hey, I'm going to do for dog shelter. Okay, and these are the NFTs that are like uniquely I'm going to do as a collection, and I'm going to say 10% of it is going to this specific dog shelter. All this stuff can be verified in the blockchain, and if it's done, then you can market that. I think what I'm saying is the cycle is gone. The hype cycle went, and it's right now plateauing, and it's going to come down. And there could be few exceptional events where people could get off the hype and get their product out. But right now, dime a dozen NFT marketplaces are there, and a lot of collections are there. How your collection is going to be unique, and how your collection is going to add value for someone. And I think the two phases of someone buying: one is bragging rights. Hey, I own this piece. Someone bought Jack Dorsey Twitter because I own that piece. Some people buy things for speculation. Hey, as an investor, I'm going to go. No, I wouldn't call investor, speculator. This is going to go up.
Okay. So another question that we have from an individual, how do I set up or create my wallet?
Okay, that's a very good question. So it depends on which blockchain you're using. If you're using Ethereum-based blockchain, you need to download MetaMask. MetaMask is a browser extension on the Chrome, and have your Ethereum on that, and set up the wallet. Using Algorand, you can just use Algorand wallet, and the multiple wallet nodes, you can use that. Same with Polygon. Each and every, as I said, blockchain has its own wallet. Whichever blockchain you're going to use, you need to choose that specific wallet, and to mint, you need some cryptocurrency. For example, Ethereum, as I said, cost is around $50 to mint something. Algorand is 0.01 cent. So look, because that's cost to mint an NFT.
All right. So now I have a question that's more about the metaverse than NFTs. But this is what policies can be implemented to protect youngsters from unsafe and inappropriate material, as well as unproductive speculation.
Oh, okay. This is a loaded question. So I think it's the same thing. People use social media or Twitter or even Robinhood for people who are using Robinhood as a casino. It was going up and up. So it's all the same thing. I think the government has to create some policies. And now I've been playing with Oculus Meta, and I've seen a lot of kids around. The thing is that they have avatars like adults, and I know they're a kid only if they start talking. So it's a thing. I think Facebook has to implement kind of age verification thing. You cannot let kids have adult avatar, for example. So some things that they have to do such a way that you need to pass that threshold to be an avatar and be in the metaverse. So I think that's something which I think I'm going to write to Facebook, like, hey, we don't want kids hanging around with an adult avatar, or a boy hanging out with a girl avatar, or vice versa. So again, it's always open to challenges, and we have to be smart and vigilant what our kids do, and the government and the social media company should take a clean initiative to make sure that they don't have disinformation or misinterpretation.
So another question that we have, do you recommend an artist should create NFTs for all their current work, even if they don't plan to sell the NFT in the near future?
So that's a very good question. So one of the kind of thing which I think again we have in our platform is one of the things which I don't think a lot of many platforms is. As an artist, you might mint, hey, you think that your artwork is fantastic, but you're just beginner. You think that, okay, maybe people buy my artwork later. And say, suppose you mint 100 copies, and I put just 3 on sale or 5 on sale for $100. Remaining is minted, but it's not on sale. But at some time in the future, as you think you can release 2 or 3 every month, or whatever, based on your schedule, and keep on releasing it as you're convenient. So that way your value keeps growing up. There's one way of doing it. I think that's the question he was asking. We have the functionality of minting X number of copies, but you put on sale only limited quantities, such a way that more values are acquired, you can sell more.
Mm-hmm. Let me just check to see if we have any other questions. This one is a question that we had submitted beforehand. They were wondering if you, by any chance, knew any good Delaware statuary trusts.
Wow. Delaware statuary trust, it's a loaded question. My company is in Delaware. I've got multiple companies in Delaware, but I don't know any statutory trust there.
Yeah. I think those are all the questions that we had submitted. Actually, I think we just got one in. Suppose an NFT is created on one platform, can it be taken to another platform?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. Right now, there are a lot of companies working on it, but mostly are blockchain specific. So it's very hard to do across blockchain, but a lot of companies are trying to solve that as we speak.
Right. Are there any other questions? If you have any questions to submit, you can just put it in the chat now. If not, I think I will pass it off. Oh, okay. We have another one. How's the price of an NFT determined by auction? They were questioning.
I think, again, as I said, it's what it is, So it is similarly, if you do a Sotheby's auction on artwork, it's the uniqueness, the rarity, the artist, the painter, the quality. So it's all factors that matter. What happens in traditional has the same effect on digital. Again, it's like the rarity, the quality, and the uniqueness. So all that, and also the people, as I said, investor or a speculator or bragging rights. So all these things combined determine the price. And there's an on-chain auction where people can see that the bid happening and who's bidding on it, and as well as what is the price and how it's gone. So that's where the blockchain has the power of transparency, and you can see all the logs of audit records of all the people who are bidding on a specific artwork.
Okay. Another question, can an NFT be copied? Can the copy be made as an NFT?
I think in technical sense, it should not be, but no one is stopping you from doing it. I think that's what one of the pitfalls of NFTs. Even there's a report that 60% of the NFTs in OpenSea are copied items. So they don't verify or curate the marketplace. Anyone can go sell, and I can go, sell some crypto, whatever. I can download it from some other marketplace and sell it. If the buyer is not aware of it, then he loses his money, or So a lot of fakes are there, but ideally is that you need to have a unique item. You're not supposed to sell it across. You need to mint X number of copies, and that's where the rarity comes in and is recorded in the blockchain. But there's no way to prevent someone taking your picture, which you minted in your blockchain, and you sell it to put it on the blockchain. So a couple of things to avoid that. What we're doing is also like what you see, the picture you get is a very low resolution picture, but the actual high resolution picture is only mailed to you. So that is something we are doing such a way that you can avoid this kind of confusion.
Mm-hmm. Another question that we have, can someone else mint an image of my artwork if I have not minted it at present?
So technically you cannot do it because you own the copyright unless and until you sold the rights to them. You cannot do that. One thing also is a lot of things that I'm talking to a lot of people in Bollywood stuff like, a lot of people are trying to mint, NBA Top Shot, you can mint a 30-second version of that, Michael Jordan dunking, but you don't have the whole game might be, YouTube where NBA owns the rights. Similarly, in Hollywood or Bollywood, there could be a dialogue which is minted as an NFT, but you only have access to that. You don't have access to the movie. So it's, again, a lot of lawyers are getting involved in those discussions. Ideally, you need to have ownership of that NFT to mint it. One more example is Quentin Tarantino, the Hollywood director, was minting some NFTs from Pulp Fiction, but he doesn't own the rights to it. It's Miramax, which the production house which owns the movie. So they went in a lawsuit. So these are some areas where it's evolving, but ideally the owner, someone who was the owner of that item, can mint those NFTs.
Right. So I think with that, we will close the Q&A session. So I will pass it off for the closing remarks.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thomas, I do have one question. Maybe this is a loaded question. Has Uncle Sam caught up with all of this, and is the tax structure in place to whatever gain that happens through these transactions. That's one question. And then seems like this is working over various other countries. So is it also applicable to some international taxes, whatever gain that you may have from these transactions?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good question, Vaishali. I'm surprised no one asked it. And yes, so it is a token. And if you are making money out of it, say suppose you mint and you make money out of it, you need to pay taxes on that. And so that is same when you buy Bitcoin, it goes up, or any other crypto, it goes up, you need to pay taxes on that. Also in India recently, they also made sure that these are digital assets. Again, they've not cleared it as they're not considered as illegal, but they said that if you buy NFT or a crypto, you need to pay taxes, which is at a higher level, I think 30% plus. Yes, these are whatever money you make, Uncle Sam needs, you need to pay the taxes on that.
Okay. And do you, you may know the answer, probably you do know the answer. Is it considered capital gain tax, or is it considered your like regular income and that's how you do it?
It is an asset-based taxes. So,
okay. All right. Thank you so much. Very, very informative session, Thomas. Really appreciate for your time and coming here and the presentation. I'm sure all of the doubts that anybody has on NFT are almost all of them should have been covered with this presentation and the question answers. So thank you so much for that. Thank you all of you attending with us this evening, and we'll try to do one more session with Thomas where he can cover the other aspects of it, like metaverse and things like that. So thank you again. Appreciate. Thank you, Cynthia, and thank you, Nilesh.
Thank you.